When you take on a hunt, you do so with a pack, and every member of Lupa's pack must fight together to take down the prey. That's the idea of Lupa gameplay. 3 characters participating in the hunt, and with 3 characters cooperatively swapping in and out of combat, each character also has their moment to shine. I'm VoidEnigma, and I'll be expanding heavily upon swapping with Lupa. We'll talk about the standard rotation, Quickswap rotations, and I'll teach you how to master this furry character, Lupa. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content, and let's swap to the tutorial because we'll be doing a ton of swapping today. Firstly, why Quickswap? Don't you lose the outro buff if you Quickswap? There is a huge misconception about what Quickswap is capable of. Only newbies trigger an outro and don't capitalize on it. So let's learn how to avoid that misguided way of thinking. You want to Quickswap when your character's concerto is low. This will help you get everyone's forte filled. Then, when you are at a state where everyone's forte is about ready, you will begin the damaging stage of the rotation. So to further solidify what I'm talking about, let's first do the standard rotation with Lupa. We will be using the standard Lupa, Changli, and Brant in this scenario, and when you're using other characters, the exact same tactics apply. You start with Lupa, trigger her liberation immediately, do her whole rotation by going to town on the enemy. Once your outro is ready, you swap to Brant, use his liberation and aerial swing until his forte is filled, and drop the anchor into Changli. Then, you enter into Changli, combo with her resonance skill True Sight Slash, and then you'll use her resonance skill again, then you'll press the spacebar when she lands to do the True Sight Charge, then you'll plunge, do basic attack 1 and 2 into a True Sight Slash, and then heavy attack Flame Sacrifice, Liberation Flame Sacrifice. Now, you'll swap to Lupa, who will be able to use her enhanced intro skill, and then immediately cast Kon. Easy peasy, wolfy easy. This is the boring way to play Lupa, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, absolutely nothing wrong with playing Lupa this way. It's easy, straightforward, and you don't have to worry about messing around with crazy rotations, and it's finally a way to have a fun fusion team with Changli. There are ways that you can easily make this flow better, and we'll talk about that, and you can even use this rotation and combine a little bit of Quickswap. But let's learn full-on Quickswap. Firstly, I expect you to know what Changli and Lupa do, but I'll be a little more lenient when talking about Lupa since she's new. Watch the Changli Quickswap guide first, then come back to this if you're confused on the Changli shenanigans and the name of Changli's skills. So, the Quickswap rotation while also maintaining and utilizing all outro buffs for full damage is as follows. This is how you get the most damage and have the most functional Lupa rotation. Firstly, start with Lupa's resonance skill, swap to Changli, and then you'll use her resonance skill. Then you'll swap to Brant, where he should be in the air, to follow up with a basic attack. Swap back to Changli, and be careful not to use a basic attack so that you waste a charge and go into the enemy. Instead, when you swap to her, immediately cast the Liberation without pressing the basic attack at all. And then, you'll follow up with a heavy attack to cast the Flame Sacrifice and Quickswap into Lupa as soon as you begin the cast. It's important to note that that early resonance skill greatly speeds up the rotation, but it's not required because it's a little bit of a hassle to get used to. You can instead do the resonance skill after the Flame Sacrifice combo, but continuing. Swap into Lupa, cast Liberation, then you will throw Lupa's spear and follow up with an aerial normal attack. After you get the second Wolf Faith by maximizing her bar, you'll swap back to Changli. You should be grounded and do a True Sight Slash and then immediately use the resonance skill. Swap over to Brant for a couple of aerial basics and then right back to Changli to do another True Sight Slash. Lastly, go to Lupa and finish up with her enhanced resonance skill. What you've done is have Brant have a little bit of his forte, and Changli is 2 out of 3 of her forte filled. So, we're done with the combo stage of Quickswap. Now, it's time for the damage stage, and it's so simple and streamlined with this team. It's great. Firstly, finish up attacking with Lupa to fill the rest of her forte, and when that's filled, outro into Brant. Use Brant's Liberation, which also combos with Lupa's coordinated attack if you're quick enough, and then you'll spam his aerial attacks until the anchor is ready, drop the anchor, and then you'll swap to Changli. Now, as you drop the anchor, you have a little bit of a decision to make. If you want the Lupa buff to buff the anchor, which you should be doing, then you will need to wait until the impact of the anchor and then swap to Changli. Letting Brant land that anchor is definitely the better way to go. When you drop that anchor and you're on Changli now with an outro skill triggered, you'll do the intro resonance skill combo, and once you land on the floor, Flame Sacrifice, Liberation, Flame Sacrifice. And Changli is complete in the matter of 5 to 6 seconds. Now, you'll outro into Lupa and use Lupa's enhanced intro skill. From here, you'll immediately cast her Liberation, and we're done. Or, not yet. Changli has just now buffed Lupa with her Liberation damage and fusion damage, so we'll want to finish out the combo and then you'll quick swap after you use the final enhanced resonance skill. Now, we're done with the damage phase, and we're going to go back to the combo stage. We've successfully used all of the outro buffs to their fullest, and we've also been off of Changli long enough for her to gain back both of her resonance skills. So after Lupa's combo, your Concerto will almost be filled, so we want to swap off of her as soon as possible, and stay off of her until Changli is ready. Swap to Changli, use her resonance skill, swap to Brant to use an aerial attack, then back to Changli, combo the True Sight charge into another resonance skill, back to Brant for more aerial attacks, and finally end it with a final grounded True Sight. And now Brant's almost ready, Changli is definitely ready, and we'll go back into Lupa, and you're ready to enter the damaging stage again. Once Lupa's outro is ready, you will go into Brant, and then you do the whole process all over again. This is the gist of the simplest and easiest Quickswap rotation, and the one that I do on almost all of my runs. We can get into more gimmicky and cooler stuff, but we'll save that for the Quickswap experts, right? Let's examine a Quickswap versus standard rotation in this tower. The reason why we like Quickswap versus standard rotations is because you save so much actions by Quickswapping with this team in particular. Changli takes about 2 seconds to use a resonance skill normally, and by Quickswapping it, you can use that 2 seconds elsewhere, and after a while, it adds up in the rotation. When we add that to every Quickswappable action, you can easily cut off anywhere between 10 to 45 seconds in your entire run. Another major concern is the time it takes to swap to get Lupa's enhanced intro skill. If you use the standard rotation, you barely have enough time to complete it, which is 35 seconds. If you get hit around a lot or waste time chasing enemies, you will lose that buff before Lupa hits the field, you'll lose that enhanced intro skill, and it won't feel good. With quick swapping, we basically do half of each character's rotation before we even start the buff window. We will have plenty of time to spare in case things go south as well, and from the second rotation onward, it's just super smooth. We're abusing the time stop mechanics by using intro skills and liberation, which explains this part. Now, just to kind of clarify the time differences between these two runs, the first run, being quick swap, does a lot more actions that actually stop the time, which is why that timer ends at 4:03. Meanwhile, in the other video, despite it seeming like you clear in about the same time, the timer is actually at about 3:55, so keep that in mind. If you take away one thing from this, it's important to get Changli ready before you begin to swap between characters. If you do the standard rotation, you can simply use Changli's resonance skill, swap off, swap back to her, and then land her grounded or aerial true sight. Use the resonance skill again, swap off, swap back to her to get one more inflamement stack, and she is ready with 2 out of 4 stacks, so you will have an easy time when you swap into her, and you can combo into some amazing things so you can quickly complete the rotation. Additionally, energy regen substats is super vital here. I actually refarmed a couple of pieces for Changli to make sure that she had more energy regen, but you want at least 130% energy regen on both Lupa and Changli for an easy time with absolutely 0 issues. If you're above 120, you should be fine however, but it will definitely require you to use Lupa's Echo skill whenever you get the opportunity, which you should be doing anyways. And you may have to spend a little more time on Changli doing some basic attacks to make sure that she recharges her liberation. Aim for 125 plus energy regen, and you'll be good to go. Hey, quick swap moment. If you're getting value out of this breakdown, hit that subscribe button. I'm dropping deep dive guides like this all the time, so don't miss out. Alright, back to the swap tech. And lastly, if you want to feel like you're quick swapping but also don't want to memorize all of the rotations, literally random bullshit go works. You can quick swap the quick swappable moves, so any moves that I mentioned as a swap, just quick swap them. Changli Flame Sacrifice, quick swap. Lupa's Enhanced Resonance skill, quick swap. Brant, pretty much every part of Brant's kit. Just quick swap everything and unleash random bullshit. It actually works, and I hate that it works so well. Now, Lupa quick swap is cool, but maybe you want to use her as a main DPS. Shorekeeper is the way to go, and this team is actually pretty freaking awesome. You want to start with Lupa's Liberation and outro into Shorekeeper, then use her Liberation. Following that, you go into Changli, and finally into Lupa for the enhanced intro, do all of her combo, and finish up with going into Shorekeeper to trigger her enhanced intro. You do the same type of rotation, except you use Shorekeeper to intro into Changli always. And from Lupa, you generally want to intro into Changli as well. This will keep her with a healthy stack of Inflamement. When you're on Changli, however, you will 100% intro into Lupa. This is generally the only Brantless team that you want to run with Lupa and Changli, but for those of you who are very well versed in Quick Swap, you may want to try some other options, perhaps Carlotta and Shenliao if you're feeling a little spicy. Another great team is with Chixia. They pair so well together, it's crazy. The rotation works the exact same way as with Changli, but instead, you only want to swap to Chixia the moment that you're actually on the ground with Lupa. Quick swap basically when you're using the resonance skill, or when you actually are getting that second wolf vape charge, and then keep it moving. This team is significantly good in single target damage because of how great Chixia is at docking down a mofo, but it's not as strong as Changli, but it competes. Encore works the exact same way with this type of gameplay, but it didn't feel as clean for me. It still works exceptionally well, I just didn't like it too much. Lastly, we can go into the full buffing of Lupa with Junshin and Shorekeeper. This team only feels good if you have S1 Junshin, as this speeds up her Concerto generation tremendously when you intro into her, but this is a solid team. However, you're giving up on the Fusion Dream. Nonetheless, a great option. Lupa is an insanely fun character, and her teams are absolutely amazing. She is probably the single best hologram killer, especially with Brant, because of the insane quick swap capabilities. I've always had fun with my fusion babies, and Lupa has finally cemented herself as the undeniable funnest team in the game. Changli can finally be a tier 0 character, and that's all thanks to Lupa. Let me know what fun quick swap teams you've all cooked up and how you feel about her rotations. Is it too complicated, or are you just going with the random bullshit go? Try it sometimes, because you'll be surprised on how well it actually works. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you like the video, like the video if you like the video, and thank you so much for watching. This has been Enigma and Void